What do you think about Odell? His first debut, at first it had the buzz going all over social media. Odell just got to the Rams.
Yeah.
What was you expecting during his first game?
To be honest, I really wasn't expecting much because he was originally just going to be a punt returner. But once Robert Woods got injured, they moved him into like a third-string starter. So he got more playing time than I expected him to. So he did well for the amount of plays that he was in. He had 2 catches for 18 yards. One of the targets that he did ended up being an interception. So he did well for his first start as a Ram.
Yeah, 1 reception, 1 tackle.
Yep, hey. That's pretty good productivity so far. So
it's true.
Welcome to LUTV Sports Extra. I am Gabriel Poarch along with Clinton Essien, and we're here to discuss everything extra in the world of sports. Clinton, are you ready to do this?
I was born ready. I'm always ready.
Same. This position gets all the attention, the credit for wins and losses. The leader of the team, the leader of the offense, the quarterback. The QBR says one thing, but popular opinion says another. Brady, Jackson, Mahomes, Prescott, Rodgers are all familiar names. But Clinton, who do you think is the best quarterback in the National Football League?
Let's go with the king right now. We're not going to go with the GOAT, Tom Brady. Let's go with the king. And the king is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, you're going with Mahomes. Okay,
Mahomes.
Interesting.
You can't go wrong with picking Mahomes at all just because he had a few bad games this season. I mean, yeah, we all could agree this is not his best season.
Yeah, definitely.
But, if you want to start a franchise out of every QB, I think every owner in the NFL would like to get their hands on Mahomes.
I agree.
You can't go wrong with picking Mahomes.
I would say that. He is definitely the most talented in my opinion, and he has thrown more interceptions than he has, but I got to disagree with you on this one. To me, I feel like the best quarterback that's performed this season has been Dak Prescott because he has the Cowboys at a 7-2 record,
right,
and he's only played 8 games. One of them was an injury, and the game that he came back from injury, he lost, so I'm not going to hold that to him much.
Even what Mahomes is having, the season Mahomes is having right now that people claims to be worse, is as good as any season that Dak Prescott actually had.
Except for this season.
No, this season counts. This has to be.
He's performed better.
You compare any season that Mahomes has played compared to Dak, there's nowhere near even close competition. Mahomes will be up here, Dak will be here. The season that he has right now, which claims to be the worst season of that anybody has seen Mahomes play, is actually equivalent to the season that Dak is having, except for you take away the interceptions. Because when I think about the interceptions, I feel like you can't blame Mahomes for it because most of the interception was like him throwing the ball to one of his wide receivers and then coming out of their hands.
But at the same time, he could have not taken that risk and thrown the ball. He could have just thrown it out. Or
you can't say as a leader, as a QB, when you throw the ball to your receiver, you believe in your receiver to actually catch the ball. So if I'm a quarterback,
I understand that. But at the same
receiver,
time, if you see that the receiver is being like covered or double covered, I wouldn't take that risk. I would just throw the ball and give my receiver another chance later on in the game.
You have to understand what goes on with Patrick Mahomes and his wide receivers, the connection they have. They didn't make crazy throws where he threw it on the spot where nobody else could get the ball, and the receivers have made it, whether it was the running back or whoever he has thrown to, whether it's the tight end or not. But you, like I said, you can't blame him because once I let the ball go out of my hand, it is your job to catch it. He threw it right on the spot to the receiver.
But it's also the defense's job to play their role, and that's what the defense has done because defenses are starting to figure out that you don't need to blitz Mahomes all the time because if you blitz him, that's when what you're talking about comes into account. He can roll out, throw the ball wherever he needs to, and his receivers catch it. But like I said, what defenses are starting to figure out is that if you put 2 guys on one of his star receivers like Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce, if you double cover them, there's more of a chance that they haven't been unstoppable because it's been working for other defenses like the Titans and other teams. But
if you think about it, they've been trying to figure it out, right? Okay, some days, on the football field, you're going to have a good day. Just like you're going to work, you're going to have a good day, you're going to have a bad day. It comes with the game.
That's very true. But Dak Prescott, to me, hasn't had that bad game to me yet, except against the Broncos because he was battling with an injury. If he wasn't battling with an injury, I feel like he would have played a better, had more productivity out there.
It's either you come prepared or you don't come prepared. If you was battling with an injury, either you take that time out and sit down and heal and get better and come back. So that's up to you.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not like
sick. You know that you're sick. You could call in and stay home.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if he would have, like you said, if he would have taken that time, this game would be like not about it. So Prescott has thrown 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. He also has a QB rating of 110.8, which is the highest among starters in the NFL. Right. Patrick Mahomes has like a 96 rating. And also, Patrick Mahomes is second in yards. But to me, yards don't really accumulate how well you do in a season. Yes, it means you've like thrown the ball a lot and your receivers are completing the passes. But at the same time, you don't need to throw a lot of yards to be a successful quarterback in this league, because with the Cowboys, they have Ezekiel Elliott, so they can split the load. They can run the ball and they can pass it when they need to.
But that still doesn't make Dak a successful quarterback. What makes you a successful quarterback?
A successful quarterback is a team player, and that's what Dak Prescott is. He works well with the team that he has. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they don't really have a run game, so like you know that they're going to be passing the ball. So
did you miss last season? They did have a run game, but then again, you still have to you know. I feel like Andy Reid lets Patrick Mahomes decide what he want to do, and most of the time, when people figure out your run game, you have to go with the passing and leaving the ball in the air, because nobody really last year couldn't stop that. Mm-hmm. And this year, nobody really wants, like I said, nobody really have even kind of like figure out their passing game and stuff. It's just really, you think about it, they just need a better O-line. Once they get that O-line secure, and it will be better. Last game, Mahomes was throwing passes with his left hand, doing no-look passes. All those things are flashy, and you can't really point out a quarterback who could do the same thing as him, except for like maybe Russell Wilson, doing those kind of passes on the move and throwing it and stuff like that. Aside from the picks, yes, you know, he think about it before throwing the ball. Oh, he shouldn't have thrown the ball to the wide receiver that was covered. Most of the passes that he threw, even if they was covered, it was just like the wide receiver's fault for like not catching it, securing the ball and stuff like that. That's why most of the interceptions came from, where even though the wide receiver was wide open, he threw it to the wide receiver. Well, right, a defender was 5 yards away, and it popped out of Tyreek Hill's hand, and it just flew out of his hand and went to the defender. Sometimes you really can't control where the ball goes when it leaves your hand. So really that, he has, of course, Mahomes has 25 touchdowns, leading right behind Stafford in yards. Yeah. That's still an accomplishment. And like I said,
I'm not saying it's not an accomplishment.
Right. Even this worst season that he's ever had, it's still better than Dak's. Right. Right now, Dak and the Cowboys, still have it going on. They figuring stuff out. I believe this is like the best season they had since Dak became a starter.
In 2016.
Right. And which is way better. If we compare Mahomes' seasons and Dak, there's nowhere near in between.
Except
for this year. This year, you could see.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about this year. And Dak has been performing better than Mahomes this year. He may not be as explosive as Mahomes and have more flash plays, but he's been more consistent with his decisions because he also has a 70.3 completion percentage. So that's more than Mahomes has. So
No. But then you think about it. Well, percentage, I get that. But let's go inside the percentage. We're looking at the percentage. It depends on how many passes Westbrook have thrown, right? Now, if we talk about more completions, Mahomes has more completions, which is 271. He's leading in the league right now with more completions. If you look at the percentage, sometimes you might look at the percentages like, oh, this QB is better, but then you got to look at how many attempts and how many completions they've had. And when you look at Dak's and Mahomes, of course, Dak will have a better completion rate, but looking at the stats itself, Mahomes has more completions than Dak. So sometimes looking at the percentage, depending on what kind of stats you're looking at, might just, kind of like defend the QB's honor. Like, okay, of course, Dak has a better percentage. But breaking it down or looking into it, the reason why Mahomes has less better percentage is because he has thrown more passes, which is more attempts, and he has completed more. So of course that ratio is not going to balance out. He's going to have less compared to Dak because I believe Dak has less attempts and less completions, which is why he has more.
But the thing is, he doesn't need to throw the ball as much as he does because the Chiefs are battling with running back injuries. I believe Clyde Edwards-Helaire comes back this week. But either way, whoever, I guess we'll figure out the answer this week because the Chiefs are playing the Cowboys. So
who's going to win?
We'll see who's going to win because I think it's going to ultimately come down to defense. So
the new king of football is going to win. Patrick Mahomes, we're counting on you.
We'll see. Thank you for tuning into LUTV Sports Extra, where we keep you in the game for every game. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for more Lamar University sports. See you next time.